Hi, I'm going to demonstrate the acceptance of a barter card at a point of sale transaction. When you first enter the QuikTrade site, it will go to a screen that looks something like this. It may be different colors, and you certainly may have a different logo depending upon your exchange, but it'll look basically like this, and it'll always default go to point of sale transaction to begin with. You will also find the cursor blinking in the barter card number area, ready to begin a point of sale type transaction. Point of sale transaction is any transaction in which you are the seller and the buyer has given you their card either in person or through some other means is giving you their card number. So at this point, if you have a swipe card reader, you can run that card through, which I'm going to do and demonstrate right now, and at which point it'll automatically fill in the information about that buyer. In this case, I'm logged on as a test account, and I'm using a test account to run these transactions, but you see what's involved there. Now, if I didn't have a reader, or if this particular member had just given me their card number over the phone and wanted me to run it not in person, I'm getting back to a clear screen here. I could have just typed that number in, which I'm going to do now. And then after hitting in all 16 digits, I'm going to hit either the Enter key or the Tab key, which will do the exact same thing. So the swipe card reader is not necessary. It is only a means of keeping you from having to type in those 16 numbers. If you do not have a reader, then it's perfectly fine to type it in. It does the exact same thing. At this point, we're going to enter the amount of the transaction and hit the Tab key, and it's going to automatically figure the transaction fee. If you're in an industry where you collect tips and the buyer has put a tip or provided a tip, then you can enter that at this point right here. But other than that, you would be nearly finished with this transaction. The only other thing you may wish to do would be enter a description, and this is just to give you the opportunity of defining the purchase. You can put a sales number or invoice number or just a quick description in there. You also have a product key right here, which this is for future usage. Right now, you select that, you'll see there's nothing that drops down from that box, but we anticipate members that would have multiple services and products that we may want to define separately, and that's what this will be for in the future. But anyway, at this point, if you're ready to go, we just simply hit Process Transaction. And it'll take a second, and from here you'll either get an approved or a denied message. This particular transaction was approved. If it said denied, then the buyer in this particular case would need to contact their exchange office to determine why it was being denied. Typically it's either because they did not have enough money in their cash reserve account to cover the fee, or they have crossed their credit limit or accumulation limit by the attempt to purchase. However, sometimes it may be because the seller in this particular case has something that is causing that transaction to also be denied. It would be determined there is, for any transaction that takes place, there is an email that goes to both the buyer and the seller letting them know that it has either been approved or denied, and if it has been denied, it'll give a brief explanation of that. But typically you may need more detail by calling the exchange office. Upon completion of the transaction, it does give you the option of printing a receipt of that transaction. I'm going to hit no at this time right now, but if I hit yes, it would print out a receipt that would have all of this information and would be able to be separated to give a copy to the customer and to the seller. While we're still on this page right here, you can also print a receipt by hitting print right there. However, once you go to another one of the tabs up here, or if you start to enter a new transaction, once this information is gone, then you'll no longer be able to print a receipt. And this pretty much demonstrates the point of sale transaction. Remember to always log off once you're complete with your purpose in QuikTrade.